Hey, it's Dr. Ernst, host of the Ask Dr. Ernst show. Have you ever wondered why everyone's labs are always elevated? High blood pressure, high cholesterol, high triglycerides, high CRP, high homocysteine, elevated liver enzymes. It seems like everything is always high. And there's a reason for this. It's because most of us have deficiencies. We're missing key nutrients and key minerals and key enzymes, and the lack causes the body to respond in excess. This is termed metabolic syndrome, by the way. So if you would like to lose weight, get the high weight off, or lower your blood pressure, cholesterol, triglycerides, inflammatory scores, etc., you really need my new ebook, Metabolic Syndrome, Heal Thyself. Text the word META, M-E-T-A, to 704-906-2094. You'll also get a free masterclass on Saturday, August 10th at 10 a.m., 704-906-2094. The word META, your first and last name, and your email.
How come there are people who drink a pint of whiskey a day for 20, 30 years, and at the end of it only 20 or 30% become cirrhotic? What happened to the others? And we speculated, we hypothesized, it's the enzyme, alcoholic dehydrogenase made by the stomach. Maybe it's different, maybe it's genes, maybe it's polymorphism. The answer appears to be coffee. If you drink that much alcohol and drink 1 cup of regular coffee a day, 20% reduction in alcoholic cirrhosis risk, 2 cups 40%, 4 cups 80%. It's not a license to drink heavily and drink coffee and protect your liver. You know, you could still get Korsakoff psychosis, cardiomyopathy, pancreatitis, kill people on the road, ruin your marriage, but it does protect the liver. It's pretty amazing.
Good afternoon. Happy Saturday. You're listening to the Ask Dr. Ernst show. My name is Dr. Aaron Ernst, and on today's episode, we are going to go down an enlightening journey. Are all of these injectables, the peptides, the insulin, the things that people today are going cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs over, the Ozempics, the Wegovias, the Mounjaros, all these injectables, weekly injectables that are being marketed as the newest weight loss craze, the newest diabetic answer. We're going to dive into a topic that affects millions of people across the United States, specifically those with diabetes and with obesity. And I'm going to explore the idea that you will never fix your health problems by injecting anything into your body. It doesn't work that way. Outside in is a violation of philosophical approach to healthcare. I say we as in holistic doctors, chiropractors, functional physicians, the group of natural practitioners, physicians who say, I am no longer going to do standard medicine. Those are the integrative doctors. You could be an MD who has, quote, left medicine. You could be a doctor of chiropractic who is, quote, left chiropractic and is no longer treating pain and is now fixing purpose and fixing cause, structural work. We have an entire team of chiropractors in our network on the Ask Dr. Ernst show. Cornerstone Health Center is the Charlotte affiliate. And of course, we have them all over the U.S. now. And watch this. If you are a DNM, like I have, a doctor of natural medicine, you're someone who went to schooling beyond just medical school and got, education in all things medicine, but using natural treatments. So instead of injections, we teach people, wait, here's why you're not losing weight, and here's why you have diabetes. And I did it, guys. I did it. Look at this sucker. I think this is up to like 80 something pages. Look at this, 80 pages. The new and improved, the upgraded, look at that, the Ask Dr. Ernst Metabolic Syndrome book. This one was so thick that we couldn't staple it. It is spiral bound for me, but it's electronic for you. So look how cool this is. You have everything in here. Chapter 1, let's go to this, right? So look at this. Contents, Chapter 1, a functional approach to weight loss. We're going to talk about that today and why injecting yourself with, quote, semaglutide or the glia lizard monster venom analog is not the way to do it. Then we have number 2, heart heal thyself, because metabolic syndrome is heart disease. And then we have Chapter 3, diabetes heal thyself. So look at this, weight loss, heart, and diabetes all in one book. It starts off with the functional approach to weight loss. Then it transitions into blood pressure, cholesterol, triglycerides. And the best part, oh my God, you guys are going to love this. Watch this. If you go to Chapter 4 of the book number 1, we have a meal plan laid out for you. Breakfast, lunch, dinner, snack, and desserts. Check this out, guys. A shopping list to support that meal plan. Oh, and then watch this. All of the recipes to support that. And it's guaranteed to work. We've had people download this ebook and have emailed in the Ask Dr. Ernst team. I lost 7 pounds. I lost 12 pounds. I lost 14 pounds. I've even had people say, I no longer have diabetes. I've never even met you, Dr. Ernst. All I did was listen to you, and I did what you said. I stopped injecting and taking outside pharma. And so if you're going whoa, I missed the boat on this one, easy. All this week and last, we've been saying text the word META, M-E-T-A, like the new name for Facebook, right? Text the word META, M-E-T-A, with your first and last name. Now, I'm going to take 10 seconds to reiterate. First name means Mary, John, Jack, Susan, whatever. And last name, I don't know, Smith, Jones, whatever. Ernst as an example, although mine's very unique, okay? First and last. Why? The system needs your name. And we can't just put first name. I mean, we can, but it's going to say first name, last name, unknown. So you'll get an email, hi, Mr. Unknown, or Mrs. Unknown, or whatever. So first name, last name, email, the word META, M-E-T-A, and you're going to text that to 704-906-2094. On the screen, if you're watching the live streams, there's Facebook and Instagram. There is X and YouTube. And so I got 2 cameras rolling now, and they switch back and forth, which is kind of fun. And guys, it's free. Like F to the R double E free. FREE free. And what I mean, literally, this is everything you need. There's meal plans, there's shopping lists, there's how to lose weight, how to fix your heart, how to fix your diabetes. That is the sum of metabolic syndrome in a free book. Free. Although it costs you the energy expenditure of moving your thumbs to dial a phone number or to text it, which is what you should do. So again, all during the show today, 704-906-2094. What are we talking about today? The hidden danger, warning, caution of injecting insulin. And then it gets big, right? The GLP-1 receptor agonists. And I know that term in and of itself makes you go, the what's? The Ozempics, the semaglutides, the Mounjaros, the Wegovias. Very dangerous and yet taking over America right now. I have a patient who is a pharmacist, and she's telling me that it's like on back order and people are having a hard time getting it because everyone is so like, Ozempic, and they're freaking out thinking that they need to inject themselves. We're going to talk about that drug and how dangerous it is and the alternatives, how to lose more weight the right way than the injecting way. And we're going to discuss the negative impacts that these injections have on your health, including hypoglycemia, more weight gain. Even though you're losing weight, injecting that crap into your hips or your butt or your stomach or wherever you put it, you might have lost 40 pounds, but you lost too much muscle and not enough fat. So by definition, you're actually fattier by taking these injections. And we're going to talk about the concept that you should know the root cause of these health issues and you don't have to inject expensive drugs. Listen, Ozempic alone is about $1,000 per injection. And you might say, well, I only paid $40 because that was my copay. Yeah, but your insurance is paying the rest of that. So these pharmaceutical companies are making hands over fists of money, and the side effects are quite dangerous. Did you know that the GLP-1 receptor agonists have a side effect of lack of stomach motility? It means you start to become constipated and you're not moving stool through you. Then it can induce a paralytic nature to your intestines. And so people start to have literally what's called rectal incontinence, where they can't hold number 2 in. Then it's hypoglycemia and even more weight gain and issues like cancer and pancreatitis and cardiovascular disease and death. So, it's like those commercials that you watch sometimes where they're like, ask your doctor if such and such drug is right for you, and we'll take 10 seconds to list the side effects. Side effects include nausea, vomiting, headaches, loss of motion, loss of sense of smell, loss of taste, loss of feeling, loss of life. It's like, wait, what? Like I lose everything? Well, yeah, but you won't be diagnosed with your condition anymore. Okay, so rather you, or if someone you're listening to with, a family member or a loved one, has diabetes or obesity, don't get shocked. Don't freak out. As we embark on this journey today, I'm going to share with you how bad these things really are, the top 3 styles of injections, and what you can do as an alternative. And honestly, the best alternative for you is pick up the new and improved Metabolic Syndrome ebook. Like, guys, I'm telling you, this is about 80 pages long. It is a physical book that gives you everything you need. And that's it. It's real simple, okay? So all you need to do is that. And how do we do it again? Well, you're going to text your first name and last name and your email to 704-906-2094. Again, 704-906-2094. And we will get you what you need. Okay. So we're going to start with this concept. Let me check a camera real quick. We're going to start with this concept of the most commonly injectable medication for diabetes, which is insulin. Now, not all diabetics inject insulin. And I want to make sure I'm very clear on this, okay? Type 1 diabetics usually inject insulin because they need assistance with how they produce insulin. What I mean by that is a type 1 diabetic usually struggles to produce insulin in the first place. There's either damage to their pancreas, they were born with some sort of genetic defect, and they don't make insulin, so they need to inject insulin. And there is some good for that for them, but there's also a bad. Then the more common is people will be type 2 diabetic where their medications don't work and their sugars keep climbing so much that the doctor's like, I'm sorry, we're going to have to give you insulin. We're going to have to force those sugars down. So we have short-acting insulin and long-acting insulins. The long-actings are usually injected at night before you go to sleep, so it carries you through the evening. And the short-actings are like if you're about to sit down and have ice cream, which is ridiculous if you're a diabetic, but they would say, calculate the amount of sugar you're about to eat and start injecting insulin. Okay, so insulin is a hormone that helps to regulate your blood sugar, but that's not all it does. This is the problem today. Most people think insulin is just for my blood sugars. It does nothing else, and that's wrong. Insulin will elevate your blood pressure, elevates cholesterol, elevates your heart rate, elevates your fat storage. It decreases your immunity, and it shuts down your detox pathways. So having lots of insulin is a bad thing. For, again, most diabetics, though, they think that's the only thing they have left. Insulin injections are necessary for only the type 1 diabetics because their bodies don't produce it. But many type 2 diabetics become so resistant to insulin that the physicians, their doctors, the conventional people will say, now you must inject. And so the concern or the risk becomes, that number one, you might induce hypoglycemia, meaning you didn't calculate properly, you gave yourself an injection, and boom, your sugars drop real fast. Or number two, you get all the side effects of what insulin also does. Does insulin lower blood sugar? Well, if it's working, yes, then it does, because insulin's primary job, if you will call it, is to land on the receptor, open up the sugar channels, and whoosh, sugar flows into the cell, and you make energy out of it. But insulin also has other effects. Again, it will elevate blood pressure, elevate cholesterol, elevate heart rates, elevate your fat storage, decrease your immunity, and get this, it shuts down your detox process. So if you are constantly injecting insulin, the risk here is, yes, you might be managing your blood sugars, but you're making your body freak out, leading you to have metabolic syndrome. You're gaining weight, your cholesterol's high, your blood pressure's high, and your triglycerides are high. So usually people inject this because that's the only thing they think they can do. Their doctor says, you must inject insulin. Your sugars are too high. So I want to give you some alternatives because one of the most effective ways is to control the sugar you eat. Now, here's the tricky part. A lot of diabetics will say, well, I don't put sugar in my cereal anymore. Like, can you believe people used to do that? Like, they'd actually pour cereal in a bowl and then pour milk in a bowl, and then they would sprinkle sugar on top of it and eat it. Like, okay? Then they'll say stuff like, well, I've stopped eating cookies and cakes and candies and ice cream, and my sugar's still high. Remember, anything you put into your mouth turns into a fuel source for the body and spikes insulin. You could eat an avocado and you'll have a subtle insulin spike. If you eat a piece of bread, you'll have an insulin spike. If you eat an orange, you'll have an insulin spike. If you eat an eggplant, you'll have an insulin spike. If you eat carrots, you'll have an insulin spike. Every single thing you put in your mouth spikes insulin. So one of the most effective ways to lower your blood sugar is to get your insulin working better, and that's typically with a low to no carb diet, high plant fat, high protein, high fiber diet. And we use things like omega-3 fatty acids, flax seeds, chia seeds, hemp seeds, and even supplements, chromium, vanadium. These are minerals that open the insulin receptor. Berberine has been shown to help increase the sensitivity of insulin, meaning it works better. Regular exercise has been shown to do the same thing. Stress management techniques, chiropractic care, releasing the vagus nerve and allowing the body to express itself with what I call proper vagal tone helps. So all of these things are extremely powerful. And if you do this properly, you could reduce your reliance on the injectable insulin and get out of the trap that it has, which is it elevates your blood pressure, elevates your cholesterol, elevates your triglycerides, shuts off your immune system, makes you gain weight, and gives you the very conditions you're trying to get rid of. All the answers for how you can do that are found in the masterclass ebook. I'm hosting a free live event on Saturday, August 10th. It's at 10 a.m. in the morning. It's on your computer. It's live. I just need to know, do you want to join us? And do you want the ebook, Metabolic Syndrome, the Ask Dr. Ernst Functional Guide? It's about 80 pages long, and it has everything from how to lose weight, how to fix your blood pressure, how to get your sugars under control. And guys, that's in 2 weeks from today, right? So today's the 27th. We need to get working on this, all right? Now, I've got 10 minutes or so before my commercial break. So watch this. The big boys, the ones that are going to ruffle feathers, the ones that are going to freak you out, the GLP-1 receptor agonists. All right? So this is tough because everyone is all going cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs over these guys because they say, oh my gosh, ever since I started Ozempic, or ever since I started Wegovy, or ever since I started Mounjaro, I'm losing so much weight. I love this thing, and my sugars are going down. Yay. All right, so first of all, these medications, if you want to call this, are technically what are called receptor agonists. And they're medications that help your body to make more insulin. So the hidden danger is how they work. So to understand this, we need to talk just briefly about this thing called GLP-1. And this is a little complicated because for most people, they've already tuned out. You're like, GLP-1? What? I'm out. A GLP-1 receptor agonist, remember this medication, the semaglutides and the iraglutides and the dulaglutides and the glutides, if you want to call it that, what they do is they act like a hormone called glucagon-like peptide. There's the GLP, which is something that regulates blood sugar because it stimulates insulin and inhibits the liver from releasing stored sugar. It slows the gastric process of emptying. So there's the biggest thing you should be going, wait, what? It's going to slow my stomach from emptying food? This will lower blood sugar. So do they work in regards to you inject and sugars go down? Well, yes, because you're forcing your body to do something using a hormone. It'd be like, does giving someone a shot of adrenaline make them more energized? Yes. Does that mean you should go do that? No. They're usually prescribed now to almost all diabetics and all overweight people because they're being FDA advertised as the greatest thing you could ever do. If you want to lose weight, inject a semaglutide or just a glutide. Just to give you an example, so let me see if I can find these. There's so many of them now. Like they're growing like crazy because everybody's all popular about them. I had a list. It's on, what page is this on? Let me see. Digging. Here it is. Okay, so it's in the back half, probably about 10 pages from the end of the ebook. So guys, download this book. Everything you need is inside of here. Send your first name, your last name, and your email to 704-906-2094. Don't forget to put the word meta because that's how we get what you need. And listen to this. The Ozempic, Victoza, Byruteron, Byetta, Trulicity, Tanzanum, Mounjaro. Like they just keep going, okay? All these are GLP-1 receptor agonists. What it does, again, is it stimulates an insulin secretion, stops the liver from making its own sugar, and shuts down your stomach so your food doesn't move through it as fast so you don't absorb the carbohydrates. And while they might work, remember this. Number one side effect is nausea and vomiting. I wonder why. If you slow your stomach's emptying of food, the food won't get out of your stomach and your body's going to say, well, it has to go somewhere. So nausea and vomiting is the number one symptom. The number two symptom is pancreatitis or inflammation of the pancreas. And hopefully that makes sense. What is the drug doing? It's forcing your pancreas to make more insulin. So you think the pancreas is like, oh, we love doing that. Like we love it. No, the pancreas is like, this is kind of stressful. Like The brain isn't telling us to do this, but there's this hormone floating around, so we'll listen to the hormone. And that can actually be life-threatening to have pancreatitis. Some studies, and they're growing because these drugs are relatively new, I think it was developed in 2018. There was a Canadian scientist who figured out that this lizard from South America, when it bites its prey, the mouse or the whatever, field rats or whatever it's eating, the bird, goes into a diabetic coma and can't move. It's like paralyzed. So this Canadian scientist took the venom from this glia monster, glia lizard, GLIA lizard. Google this just so you can verify it. And said, if it works like that, could we somehow find the venomous peptide, turn it a little bit, change it, and make it something safe, right? Safe for humans. And so they did this, and they're called semaglutides, or just the glutides. Some studies now are suggesting that you can get thyroid tumors, and other studies are suggesting that it can actually increase other types of cancers. And some of the major side effects, again, is you can't control your bowels. So imagine walking around and going, what the, I just literally, whoosh, I soiled myself. So it's a side effect. Another side effect that's all popular is this thing called Ozempic butt. And that is like, your bottom half butt. What happens is people do lose weight, but you're losing muscle mass faster than fat mass. So for example, if you lose a 3-pound clump off your body, so you inject Ozempic and tomorrow you're 3 pounds down, it's supposed to be 2/3 of that is fat and 1/3 is muscle. But the semaglutides, Ozempic, Wegovy, Mounjaro, they've all been showing that they do 2/3 muscle mass and only 1/3 fat. So if you're good with math, watch this. If I lose more muscle than fat, I am losing weight, but I'm not actually losing a lot of fat. So by volume, I am fatter by percentage. So what's unknown to these people is though they're losing weight, their percentage of body fat's actually going up, which is a risk factor for all types of disease. So is there something better? Well, the holistic approach would be, hey, let's actually find what's the cause of your problem. Do you have metabolic syndrome? Could we do dietary coaching to clean out your diet? Hey, just stop eating things that turn into sugar. Fruit turns into sugar. Grains turn into sugar. Rice, wheat, corn, soy, oats, bread, pasta, all this stuff, sweet potatoes, fruit, again, apples, oranges, peaches, pears, nectarines. And I know what people are saying, like, well, I don't understand, Dr. Ernst. Isn't that natural? Like, didn't God make an apple? Not the apple you're holding. More than likely, it's been hybridized and modified and turned into a sugar bomb. I mean, look at the names of them. Honey Crisp, the Sweet Gala, right? So, like, they're used Fuji. And the issue is the sugar content of apples today compared to the sugar content of apples 100 years ago is different. Because we have learned that if you crossbreed some species of apples, you get a bigger, sweeter tasting apple, and you like those. Imagine buying a crab apple, little tiny things, all bumpy, looks nasty, and they're very bitter. In fact, my mouth is already watering because I've had a crab apple, and I go, God. Okay, so can you decrease your sugar load and help so you don't have to use a GLP-1 injection that's going to paralyze your stomach, cause you to lose all your muscle mass, and literally rip your pancreas to shreds? Yes, you could. Is there a risk that you can have thyroid cancer with these things? Yeah, there's studies showing that thyroid tumors show up in all the animals that they did studies with. They don't say that it means you're going to get it in humans, though. So it is a concern that you should be watching out. If you are injecting yourself with the semaglutides, start getting some thyroid tests done to confirm that you're not shutting your thyroid down, and have somebody do a body comp scan to confirm you're not wasting away by losing muscle mass. Hey, we have a commercial break coming in 20 seconds, so I'm going to ask you to do one thing. Pull out your phone, text the word META, M-E-T-A, to 704-906-2094. This book is yours free, 704-906-2094. First name, last name, and email. And hey, it's the Ask Dr. Ernst Show. Don't go away. We will be right back.
Hi, my name is Gary Greenfield. Welcome to greenfieldwater.com. I'm often asked the question, what is structured water? Well, structured water is simply water in its natural state. And you may ask, what is that? Well, water in its natural state is the way water has always been since the beginning of time. It's only been in the past 100 years or so that we've begun to destroy our water source. And we've done that through the imposition of modern technologies such as dams, which impede the flow of water. And the problem there is that water is the lifeblood of the earth. Just as our blood circulates through our system to bring nutrients throughout the whole body, water does the same thing for the earth. And when we impede that flow, we impede that whole process, and everything downstream suffers. We've also subjected water to straight pipes and pumps. And this is a problem because it de-energizes the water. You see, the way water works is it vortexes. And wherever it flows, it goes into left-right turn spins and into vortexing. And what is that doing? That's drawing in energy. And that energy is essential to life enhancement for all cells in every plant and every animal and every person. And we also subject water to contaminants, pollutants, chemicals. And of course, it's obvious these are poisons, and they impede all the cellular functions in plants, animals, and people as well, and they impede the microbial actions in our soils. So these are big problems. And unless we fix our water supply, not only by filtering, but also by structuring it and energizing it, we're not going to be able to enjoy good health or vitality. We're just not going to have it. We're going to be devitalized, and we're going to suffer many different ailments that come about because of cells that are not healthy. Because the cells require hydration, and they thrive in a structured water environment. If the water around a cell is not structured, those cells eventually die because they're not getting the nutrients that they need. Because the water is in such a clumped state, it's in such a de-energized state that it can't deliver the nutrients to the cells. And the primary nutrients that it delivers are oxygen and hydrogen, although it does deliver all the elements of the periodic table, which are all important. But oxygen and hydrogen are the most important. Oxygen sanitizes the body, and hydrogen is the primary fuel source for the body. And what I mean by that is that it's not glucose. You've been taught in biology that glucose is the primary energy source for the body. Glucose is the building block. Water, hydrogen, is the fuel source for every activity in the body. It is the primary energy source. And if our water is not in its optimal natural state, we are not going to have the energy that we should have, or that could be available if that water was structured. So your water has to be structured, whether it's for a farm or whether it's for your animals or whether it's for your own children in your household. The water needs to be structured. It needs to be energized. And it also needs to be filtered. And that is what we do here at Greenfield Water. We create devices that we call structured water filter devices. They structure the water, they filter the water, and they energize the water. So check out the products. You can learn more about structured water by perusing the articles on my website. I've got an ebook. Please read it if you have an opportunity. And if you have any questions, give us a call. That's it for now from Greenfield Water. Thank you for watching.
Hey, it's Dr. Ernst, host of the Ask Dr. Ernst show. Have you ever wondered why everyone's labs are always elevated? High blood pressure, high cholesterol, high triglycerides, high CRP, high homocysteine, elevated liver enzymes. It seems like everything is always high. And there's a reason for this. It's because most of us have deficiencies. We're missing key nutrients and key minerals and key enzymes, and the lack causes the body to respond in excess. This is termed metabolic syndrome, by the way. So if you would like to lose weight, get the high weight off, or lower your blood pressure, cholesterol, triglycerides, inflammatory scores, etc., you really need my new ebook, Metabolic Syndrome, Heal Thyself. Text the word META, M-E-T-A, to 704-906-2094. You'll also get a free masterclass on Saturday, August 10th at 10 a.m., 704-906-2094. The word META, your first and last name, and your email. Welcome back. Happy Saturday. Thanks for tuning in. You're listening to the Ask Dr. Ernst Show. My name is Dr. Aaron Ernst, and we are continuing what I believe to be an incredible conversation. We're talking about metabolic syndrome, the new ebook that we've written, and we're giving away all during the show today, holding it up for both cameras. And you can grab this right now if you'd like. We were having a lively conversation with a couple of listeners over the commercial break. Some of you have been texting, even asking questions. I love it. 704-906-2094. If you want to call or text, we have a team that's listening, tuning in. They're helping to send you the ebooks and send you the masterclass links. Saturday, October 10th, it's a free live event. We did one about 3 weeks ago on high blood pressure, cholesterol, heart disease. Over 700 people online, everyone from California to Pennsylvania to Michigan to Florida, and lots of local Charlottarians. My clinic is based out of Charlotte. The radio show is based out of Charlotte. We're on News Talk 1110 WBT. We've been here almost, I think, like 14 years. It's incredible. And we're talking today about the injectable peptides, this craze of injecting yourself with drugs to lose weight and lower your blood sugars, and other injectables like insulin, and we're going to go through some others today, and how injecting yourself is not the way, in my opinion, to get your health back and to get well. You don't want to go from the outside in. Putting stuff on you, putting stuff in you is not going to solve your health issues. And so we're going to discuss that as we go deep into fixing your health. And we talked briefly about insulin, how though some diabetics need insulin, the type 1s, because they can't make it. That's different. I'm not talking about that. We're talking about how a lot of type 2 diabetics, they can't control their A1C. They can't control their weight. They can't control their blood sugars. They're taking certain capsular medications, and their doctor says, you know what, you're going to need to start injecting. And they're given either a long-acting overnight insulin, or they're given a short-term bolus injectable insulin measured by units, and they're told, you have to now inject. And a lot of diabetics get frustrated because then the side effects kick in. They start gaining more weight. And it's frustrating because insulin makes you gain fat. They start having their blood pressure go up. They start having their cholesterol go up. They start having their blood sugars actually not get regulated. Or they crash because they injected too much. Or it used to work and now it doesn't. And if you're listening going, hey, that's me, there is a way out. Stop injecting and go to root cause. Almost always the root cause is an undiagnosed condition called metabolic syndrome. And I have a free book that will help you to know how to break out of that. Because it's a syndrome, it's involving lots of stuff. It is high blood pressure, high cholesterol, high triglycerides, elevated blood sugars, elevated body weight. But you'll hear, wait a second, insulin causes all of that. So it could just be that you have not correctly addressed your insulin. You might have diabetes or you might not, and then the insulin is what's causing all these issues. That's the real rub, if you will. Then we discussed that these new drugs, these glutides or semaglutides or liraglutides, known as GLP-1 receptor agonists, are new, and everybody loves them because, all the celebrities, all the people, Kim Kardashian, Jennifer Lopez, whoever else is doing all this stuff. I know for a fact Oprah Winfrey sold her soul to the devil when she said, I use Ozempic. It's how I lost my weight. There was recently, a month or two ago, a nationwide special, right? It was a paid 30-minute ad by the maker of Ozempic, and they basically paid Oprah Winfrey to say all this stuff and to host this show and talk about how great this drug is, and then boom, national backorder. No one can get it. Look at the influence that this one billionaire woman can have. She talks for 30 minutes on national TV, and the whole organization sells out of their product. What a great marketing schedule for that, right? So how do these semaglutides work? Well, they are a drug that acts like glucagon, like peptide number 1, thus GLP-1, and it stimulates insulin secretion. So they're trying to make insulin come out of the pancreas faster. It shuts off the liver's ability to turn glucagon into sugar, which is how we regulate our sugars in case they get too low. So notice it shuts off the ability for you to recover from a crash, and it inhibits your stomach from emptying food into your small intestines. So let's just lightly talk real quick, okay? So it pushes real hard on insulin. It shuts off the ability for you to regulate your blood sugars if they get too low, and it makes your stomach stop emptying food. So do you see why this is a problem? And do you see why the side effects include you can't recover from low crashing, you can't control your bowels, you have a lot of nausea and vomiting because your stomach's not emptying, and you're like, well, I lost 40 pounds, so I'm happy. So be careful. Very dangerous. Right now, if I remember right, the makers of Ozempic are being sued because certain people are noticing that though they lost 40 pounds, they didn't do it in a healthy way. They lost a lot of muscle mass, so their butt's disappearing. No joke, it's called Ozempic butt. Google it. It's called Ozempic butt, B-U-T-T, like your butt, bottom half of you that you sit down on. What it is people are saying like, hey, my butt is gone. Like I no longer have a rounded trunk. It's flat. And you know why? The gluteus maximus is a huge muscle. And if you force through this GLP-1 injection your body to lose weight, it's losing muscle mass, not fat. There was another study done showing that if you lose, say, 30 pounds of 30 pounds of weight, it should be 20 pounds of fat and 10 pounds muscle. Well, the people who are injecting the Ozempic and Mounjaro and Wegovias and all the semaglutides, the GLP-1 receptor agonists, are losing 30 pounds of weight, but they're losing 20 pounds of muscle and only 10 pounds of fat. So they've inverted the natural fat loss equation. And by definition, while they're skinnier, right, while their weight's gone down, their percentage of body fat has gone up. And in medicine, we use percentage of body fat to determine if you're obese. So watch this. If you have a 40% body fat reading or higher, you're obese. So you could have lost 80 pounds and you're still obese according to the actual measurements. So that's why these are so dangerous. Is there a more natural version of losing weight? Yes, it's called getting to the root cause. Do you have metabolic syndrome? Maybe you do. Maybe you should consider, if you're listening to me going like, wait, I have weight loss resistance. I can't seem to lose weight. Wait, I have high blood pressure. Wait, I have high cholesterol. Wait, I have, problems with my blood sugars. You might actually have been misdiagnosed and you actually have this whole syndrome. And my ebook shows you the root causes of the syndromes and gives you a diet that naturally will flush out your stomach, your intestines. Look at this. My secret to lose 10 to 15 pounds in 4 weeks, chapter 3, and it's free, 704-906-2094. We just need your first name, your last name, and your email, and then boom, the electronic book is sent to you. It's a big one, guys. It's like 30 megabytes, so give it some time to download. So again, first name, last name, email, and meta. The word meta. Our text is going to look for that. Could we use things like lifestyle changes? Of course. Okay. Anything you do to decrease the secretion of insulin and to monitor your blood sugars is going to help. A lot of times it's just simply fasting. And as soon as we say the word fasting, people start freaking out like, oh my God, I'm not supposed to eat any food. I'm not going to make it. I'm not going to survive. Okay, real quick. Your body, most of you, has at least a week's worth of food stored. It's like you're a walking cabinet of food, but you haven't been eating what you got in your cabinet. You keep eating food from the outside. Your body's like, you do know we have this like freezer chest over here full of fat, but you keep eating, so we can't go after that because you keep eating. So one of the best and most effective natural ways to start regulating your insulin and burning fat is to stop eating food. I know it's weird, right? Stop, like just stop. Start intermittent fasting, start incorporating whole healthy foods. If you need help, it's real simple. AskDrErnst.com. You'll see the healing recipes, right? Fast and eat, fast and eat. See, all of you guys just do is you eat and eat and eat and eat. And it's not the gluttonous style eating. It's like, well, I'm a vegan. I eat vegetables for breakfast. I eat nuts and seeds for lunch and dinner. And I eat dirt and tree bark for dinner. And it's like I'm gaining weight because you're doing it the wrong way. This is another one, and I'm probably going to butcher the pronunciation of this. Amylin, Amylin. Amylin analogs are somewhat newer. I'm going to say they're not as highly prescribed, but it is out there, so some of you might be using these. An amylin analog, or what's called pramylinide, again, who came up with these drug names? They either are running out of names, so they're mixing two languages together, right? Pramylinide. Anyway, amylin is an analog to be used with insulin. So sometimes it's added to insulin. And what it does is it helps to make the insulin be secreted better by the pancreas. So I want you to think of it as a hormone that is co-secreted, because naturally your body secretes this hormone called amylin, Amylin. Google it if you want. It's available. This drug helps to regulate your blood sugar levels by naturally lowering your gastric emptying, inhibiting glucagon, and promoting the sense of being full. Now remember, it's naturally produced by the body. But the analogs like pramylinide, if I'm even pronouncing it right, mimic the effects of natural amylin by helping blood sugar spikes after meals. So some people are going and they inject themselves to stop sugar spikes. Now, do these have the same side effects as most other injectable drugs? Yes. The most common is nausea and vomiting, then hypoglycemia, and especially when you use it with insulin, sometimes it makes the insulin so powerful that, boom, their sugars drop super fast. Okay? Next, watch this. Allergic reactions can sometimes happen. Redness, itching, swelling around the injection sites. It can be a big, huge problem. Also, we know this, that anytime you inject a drug, you're forcing the body to do something it doesn't normally do. So pancreatitis, irritations, stomach upsets, these are all side effects because your body is revolting, going, why are you injecting what I am making? I'm lowering it so that you can't keep injecting it, but our body is reacting, okay? So are there alternatives? Yes. It comes back to this concept. What if we talk about mindful eating in the first place? Here's what mindful eating means. Think about what you're going to eat before you eat it and make decisions like, should I eat this or not? Or starting to plan your meals. Heaven forbid you were to start thinking like, let's lay out my week of food. On Monday, I'll eat this for breakfast. On Tuesday, I'll eat this. On Wednesday, I'll eat this. And here's my lunch. And then for Friday, I'm not going to eat. And for Saturday, I'm going to recover. Like, most people don't do this. I hate to say it, a lot of Americans and a lot of you may be listening are like, you know what? I don't have anything in the fridge and I'm going to stop on my way home. And that's the trap. The quick, convenient restaurant-style foods are not designed to be consumed every single day. Could we use some supplements to help us instead of injecting? Yeah, there's a lot of supplements that help with regulating blood sugar. Alpha lipoic acid, cinnamon, berberine, vanadium, chromium. These are all things that help to improve sensitivity of insulin. And here's what that means. I want you to think of sensitivity as like my control knob. So watch this. When I go like this, like, oh my God, I'm blowing the speakers. You probably can't hear it. It's getting a little better, isn't it? But it's still bad. So if I bring it down to where I'm in the green again like this, it feels really good. So what am I doing, guys? I am increasing the sensitivity of this mic. If I turn it down even more, even though I'm talking very loud, you don't hear me very well. If I turn it way up like this, I'm blowing your speakers. Your car's probably freaking out. So I'm going to bring it back to now perfect, and it should sound like normal. So if I increase the sensitivity of the microphone, even my breathing would be loud. Watch. Ready? Here we go. Now I'm going to put it back to normal just so you can see the difference. So there's my analogy, right? I change the sensitivity. I can decrease the sensitivity of the microphone. You're not going to hear me very well. Or I can blow the speakers out of your car by increasing the sensitivity. And that's what those supplements and herbs do. Cinnamon, alpha-lipoic acid, chromium, vanadium, and berberine. Listen, everything you guys need, like look at this. All the herbs, right? Cinnamon, rosemary, sage, fenugreek, ginger. All the supplements are listed for you. Check this out, right? What are the things we should start eating? I just saw them. Where did it go? Of course, now I can't find it. And I'm live, so I'm causing problems. And I'm getting stressed out. Where is it? Anyway, we'll find it. So the idea is everything you need is in here. See, look at this. Acai berry, chicory root, olive oil, lotus, pomegranate, ginkgo, ginger, astragalus, valerian. Everything you need is in the ebook. And all you have to do is text your first name, your last name, and your email right now. 704-906-2094. Again, 704-906-2094. Watch this. What about an alternative to amylin? People inject amylin to try to lower their blood sugars after they eat. Did you know that drinking 1 to 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar at a 50-50 dilution with water, so 2 tablespoons apple cider vinegar, 2 tablespoons water, makes you less reactive to sugars. It decreases sugar spiking after meals. How exciting is that? So it's kind of important to know that you can do this. So what about the risky one, which is when people start combining their injections? Like, ugh. A combined injection is this. It's usually when they use like a long-acting insulin with a GLP-1 agonist. Now they're Ozempicing and they're insulining, and that means it's really, really, really bad. If anything, it should show you how bad you're controlling your health if you have to use 2 injections, because that means 1, diet has failed or you didn't try it. 2, exercise has failed or you didn't try it. 3, natural herbs and supplements have failed or you didn't try it. 4, chiropractic care has failed or you didn't try it. 5, functional medicine has failed or you didn't try it. 6, medicine has failed. Medicine has failed and you didn't try it. One of my cameras is freaking out. We may have just lost our YouTube feed. We can probably piggyback off the camera from Facebook. I'll let my team work on that. Hey, if you're down for a second, it'll probably come right back. So if you have given up, trying again, it looks like it's down. If you've given up, watch this then. Ready? It means that you need to do what you can yourself. If you're injecting 2 injections, time to wake up. It's not working. The first time of doing the single injection didn't work. Why do you think combining 2 injections is going to work? So are there crucial concerns behind people who inject all the time? Yes. What if we go through some alternatives that can give you better options? All right. So think about this. A comprehensive diet plan means that you are using whole foods as a method of controlling your food intake. Many, many, many times, people with obesity and diabetes, they think they're eating healthy and they're not. I had it the other day. A patient's like, "Why eat fruit? Isn't that healthy?" I'm like, "Not for a diabetic. Diabetics shouldn't eat fruit. If you can't control your blood sugars, we don't want you injecting more sugar into your body because you think, oh my gosh, I have a need to eat." No, sugar is sugar no matter if it's fruit or organic or just straight up corn syrup. If we increase lean protein and healthy fats and decrease grains, getting rid of wheat and corn and rice and oats and stuff like that, your body will actually respond. And it's amazing. Often for most people with diabetes, if you start fasting, where you just drink water or drink tea and you give your body recovery time, you'll actually watch the blood sugars come down by themselves. Heaven forbid the body can heal itself and solve its own problems by itself. Stress management also can help, right? If we try to decrease our stress and decrease our cortisol levels. So meditation, deep breathing, yoga, Pilates, and my favorite de-stressor, structural-based chiropractic. Hey, I'm going to take a second to try to reboot this camera because it's now flashing green. And who knows? I don't know. What is it doing? Boom. Let's try again. This is the joy with being live, right? Nah, I think it's down. Sorry, guys. We'll switch it over to the other camera, or my team's probably already done that. Okay, so can we do things like yoga, Pilates, meditation, etc.? But watch this, guys. The research is out. If you really want to de-stress, chiropractic care is the thing for you. Removing irritation to the sympathetic nervous system, what comes out of the middle part of your back, which is why when everyone is so stressed out, they go, oh, my back, my shoulders, everything's on fire. If I could just get a good, no, what you need is a really good adjustment. You need to release your spine, get it moving, get the pressure off your nerves. And what happens is inflammation goes down. They've shown studies, the best way to lower cortisol is not hugging a tree. It's to get adjusted. Clear the stress at your vagal nerve behind your neck and behind your ear, and inflammation drops, stress drops. So what if we did it this way? What if we said, let's find out what you're not eating and not getting nutrient-wise and fix that? What if we said, let's supplement you with things that we know stimulate natural insulin sensitivity, herbs and vitamins and minerals? What if we help your body to flush out the liver, phase 1, phase 2 detoxification? What if we give you for free a diet that you can follow with meal plans and recipes and shopping lists? All for free. It's sitting right here in my hands. Do you want it? Text your first name, your last name, the word META, and your email to 704-906-2094. Watch this. What if we invite you to a free masterclass where I show you how to fix your health issues? That is free. Again, as you get the ebook, you get that for free. And then watch this. What if we develop a structural, functional, personalized approach where instead of just going, oh, you're a diabetic, oh, take these drugs, have a nice day, or oh, you're overweight, go do this workout, we actually get you well? What if we do that? That's called functional medicine. So in recap, as I've got about 2 or 3 minutes, we talked about insulin injections and how they are risky because they elevate your weight, elevate your blood pressure, elevate your cholesterol, elevate your triglycerides, elevate your heart rate. They cause all these other issues. And many diabetics are injecting insulin. So if you're taking long-acting overnight or short-acting bolus insulin, you can get out, man. Just you got to acknowledge you have metabolic syndrome and join me for my event. Then we talked about the GLP-1 agonists and how they're taking over America. Everyone is injecting their stomachs and their butts and their hips with these synthetic peptides that are trying to make their sugars go down. But the side effect is you lose a ton of body mass, muscle mass, nausea, vomiting, pancreatitis, and even now thyroid cancer. Then we talked about the amylin analogs and how they lead to nausea and allergic responses and hypoglycemia, and that if you combine them, it only magnifies the side effects and shows you how sick you really are. So it's clear that you can live this awesome life without medications. Because listen, all drugs carry significant risks. So if you're looking for a holistic approach, join us on Saturday, the 10th of August. Download the ebook. It's free. And pay attention and maybe reach out to the doctors in our network by simply texting your information. Let's connect you with the masterclass and we'll help you find a physician, no matter if you're in California or New Mexico or Florida or wherever you're listening or tuning or watching in from. Yes, we're streaming local on the airways, 1110 AM, 993 FM. We stream on Facebook, which goes across the world. We were streaming on YouTube until the camera died. We are on Spotify and Amazon Music and Apple Music and iTunes and all the podcasting stations, soon to be on TV. So there is this massive need to help people get well. And you are the key because you're the doctor anyway. You're the one who can do it. So all I can do is stand here and say, here's how it works. Hey, thanks for texting in, whoever that was, 704-906-2094. Here is your ebook for free. Text the word META with your email, and we'll send that to you. The masterclass is coming up in just about 2 weeks, and thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you guys next week. It's the Ask Dr. Ernst Show. Enjoy your weekend.